Hey, and welcome to All Things Podcasting, where we will be giving you an inside look at how to launch, grow, and manage a podcast. If you've been dreaming of starting a podcast but don't know where to start, or you have a podcast and you're looking for the best and most productive growth strategies, then this podcast is for you. Let's dive in. Hello, hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to All Things Podcasting, where we talk about all things podcasting. So today we're going to talk about one of the number one questions that I get asked by people, and I'm always getting questions about people's audio quality. They run into an issue and they can't figure out how to make things sound better. They can't figure out how to remove sections. I've had clients or potential clients reach out to me and say, the chit chat at the beginning of a guest episode, I want to cut that out and I just can't figure out how to do it. And that is totally okay. You know, sometimes we just need to stay in our zone of genius, and tech things can seem really overwhelming, or sometimes you're really good at certain aspects of tech, like you might be really good at email funnels, but the audio video aspect of things just really throws you for a loop. So today I'm going to tell you a few things that'll help you start with better audio quality and video quality so you don't have to do as much editing, and then also some resources that you can use to make things sound better on the back end after the episode has been recorded. So I always suggest that people kind of plan out their episodes so that we don't go on a rambling spree. So you'll notice most of my episodes are like 15 minutes or less, and that is because I always focus on one clear thing per episode. Episodes where there's a lot of rambling or talking about a lot of different things, they don't perform as well because the audience doesn't know why they should be there, and B, they are harder to edit because there is a lot of pauses, there is a lot of like duplication of thoughts, there's just a lot going on and you don't want to have to edit all of that. So try to do short, action-packed episodes. You also want to have your setup ready so that the audio quality is good to start off with. So like right now my mic is a little too far away. I should really like move it closer in here. So you want to have your mic close enough to you. You don't want to be like looking down at a piece of paper or anything like that, because that is going to cut out your audio quality and it's not going to sound good. So you want to have your mic, we usually say like 2 fists away is how you want your mic to be positioned, and you want to look at what type of mic you have. If you've already purchased a mic, odds are it's going to be fine. You can make it work. Everybody buys the Blue Yeti. I typically advise against it because it is a condenser mic, which is really intended for recording in a studio. So what you want is a dynamic mic. There's the Shure series, the Audio Technica series. My mic was like $30 on Amazon. It's just a dynamic USB mic. Get one with decent reviews. You guys know how to shop on Amazon. You can find a good one for pretty cheap. So get yourself a mic. Make sure that you are in a space that is somewhat quiet. Don't have your ceiling fan running. Try to make sure there's not a bunch of echoes, like in a room with carpets and furniture. Recording in your basement usually isn't a great idea unless it's like finished and you have like pillows and carpets and things like that. My basement is just concrete, so it would not sound good. So right now I'm in my dining room and that's okay. So you want to find a good space. You want to have a decent mic. For the video aspect, you want to have an external webcam usually. Right now I'm recording on a Mac, and so the video quality is actually pretty good. Any of the webcams that you can get online are going to be decent and it's going to work. It's going to be an improvement. My Dell computer, the camera on it is terrible, so I would not recommend using the internal camera in most cases. So that is kind of setting you up for success. Sometimes you're going to have things like I forgot to turn my notifications off, so I just had a Facebook message notification ding. And those things are nearly impossible to cut out on the back end without cutting out that whole phrase and kind of re-recording. So if something like that happens, if a garbage truck drives by or your neighbor starts mowing their lawn or your dog starts barking, you can always just stop. And you can use a keyword like bananas or say your name or say, oh, edit this out. And that way you can go in and search for the script, which I'll get to how you can do that in just a minute, but you can search for that word and then know that you need to edit that section out. It's really, really hard to make audio better than the original. It's difficult to take something that wasn't there and recreate it. There are some ways that you can do that, but it is a lot easier if you just have good audio quality to start off with. So always start with those things. And then the next thing that you can do is you can use a program called Descript, and it allows you to edit the audio, video, and transcript all in one go. I'm also recording in there right now, so that is also a good option to record your audio and video. So like I said, it does the transcript, so you're able to go through and just highlight sections and delete them. Just like you're editing a Google Doc, highlight it, delete it, and then it is gone from the transcript, the audio, and the video all in one go. So that's a really easy way for people to edit, especially when you're first getting started. Sometimes it will cut off a little bit extra, and so you will want to like pull up the sound wave at the bottom and make sure that you aren't cutting off part of your words. It also has a regenerate tool, which right now is in beta, so you may or may not have access to it, whether you've opted into the beta, but the regenerate tool allows you to take words that maybe you were facing away from your mic, or maybe your mic cut out, or your Wi-Fi, and so it will use your voice and it will recreate that word for you. On the note of your internet not being good, if you're recording through Zoom, make sure you're recording to your local computer and not to the cloud, because that will help your audio sound better because it's not relying on Wi-Fi. Okay, so that is Descript, and there is a link in the show notes for my affiliate link for Descript. It's super affordable. It does a lot of different things. We use it for all of our podcast, YouTube, transcripts, creating social assets, all of the things. It's a great, great resource. You can add all kinds of backgrounds and effects and change the formatting and add captions. Amazing tool. And it also contains a feature called Studio Sound, which will help make the audio overall sound better. It will add a studio quality. Sometimes I really like to use that depending on what the audio quality is like to start off with. If the audio quality is not very good at all to start off with, the studio sound will make it sound worse sometimes because it's trying to force it to sound better and it's just not working. So in those cases, I like to use auphonic.com, and it is a free tool up to a certain amount of uploads per month, I believe. So if you have like a background noise or there's buzzing or something like that in the background that you weren't aware of while you were recording and you notice it after the fact, try running it through Auphonic and see if that helps. A lot of times it will make the audio sound a lot better. So those are my quick tips for having good audio quality. And again, you can get that affiliate link for Descript in the show notes, and I will link up Auphonic as well. If you guys have any questions about recording, audio, video, editing, any of those things, you know where to find me on Facebook through the DMs.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of All Things Podcasting. If you enjoyed this episode, then hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so that you'll never miss an episode. This podcast is for you, so be sure to reach out and let me know what you thought about it. You can DM me through Facebook or Instagram, where I also share valuable content, or you can find me in our Facebook group. Just search for All Things Podcasting in the search bar. I can't wait for you to join us next week for the latest episode of All Things Podcasting.